comes and it leaves, then we haven't perfected the method of Salah. So in today's lesson, inshallah, we're going to have the method of Salah that is going to be explained, and inshallah some of the practicals of Salah I'll try to also demonstrate for us to be able to learn. And if we learn before, mashallah, mubarak, alhamdulillah, it's an opportunity for us to revise. And these are very important aspects of our lives, our tahara, our wudu, ghusl, etc., and our Salah. So when we are performing Salah, there are certain conditions for Salah, and some of the conditions of Salah is, example, your tahara, which we discussed yesterday, wudu and ghusl, your istiqbal al-qibla, facing of the qibla, ensuring that your clothes are clean. The tahara includes your clothing, it includes your body, it includes the place that you're going to perform Salah at. You need to ensure that you are facing the qibla, and you, if you are behind the imam, you're doing the niyat of also being behind the imam, and we are going to begin Salah. So when we are going to begin Salah, I'm summarizing and keeping it very brief, right? When we are going to begin Salah, we are going to begin by Takbir Tahrima, which is stating Allahu Akbar. Now, one very important rule I'm going to share with regards to recitation in Salah, out of Salah, any recitation that we are doing, needs to be in such an audible tone, in such a tone that if there was complete silence around us, we would be able to hear ourselves. If there is complete silence around us, we should be able to hear ourselves. So, for example, if someone is reciting, but he's reciting how people say, I'm reciting in my mind, you'll find people that begin Salah, and as they begin Salah, they are just, the lips are closed, they are sealed, and the hand moves and it goes onto the stomach, or it goes just below the navel, and the lips are sealed throughout. So this is not recitation. If someone started Salah like this, you say, my brother, did you read Allahu Akbar? Takbir. I read in my mind. The lips didn't move, no sound left the lips. In this case, you didn't begin Salah. Now what a danger this is. Imagine if we didn't know this, and someone performs Salah for example 20 years. It means 20 years Salah he hasn't begun yet. Why? Because he hasn't begun the Salah. He hasn't stated Allahu Akbar. So it must be recited in such a voice, it can be as a whisper. Now you can hear me because I'm on the mic, but usually you'd just be able to hear yourself if there was silence. Now sometimes there's no silence, there's loud noise around you and you can't hear yourself, that's fine. You don't have to increase your volume. If there was silence, you will be able to hear yourself. Where do our arms get raised? Our hands get raised up to our earlobes, and it's going to face the qibla. Alright? And then we're going to tie our hands. So I'm going to switch over to the mic, the standing mic, and inshallah I'm going to demonstrate from here on. Alright, so when we are beginning our Salah, I know I'm not facing qibla, you will be facing qibla, I'm just demonstrating. You will begin your Salah raising your hands up to the earlobes and saying Allahu Akbar clearly. Allahu Akbar. Now as we say Allahu Akbar, we're going to move into our qiyam position. Qiyam position means the position that you are in when you are standing. I will demonstrate that as well. You'll start Allahu Akbar and then you'll tie your hands. How the hands are tied? Firstly, you have the left hand which is under, the right hand that's over. You'll place the palm of the left hand, the palm of the right hand on the outside of the palm of the left hand, and you'll make a circle with the little finger and the thumb around. It doesn't have to touch. It's fine if it doesn't touch. Just make a circle around, wrap it around, and the three middle fingers, you're going to place it on top of the wrist. So you'll have it in this posture, in this position. And this left hand gets placed just under the navel, just beneath. You know where your navel is? Just beneath your navel, and that is your qiyam posture. That's the posture you're going to stand in. You should be standing upright. Your face should also be towards qibla. Shouldn't be lowered completely. Still towards qibla. You lower your gaze towards the position that you're going to, towards the place where you're going to perform sajda. So that's where the gaze will be fixed. It's better to look towards the place of sajda, but if someone has more concentration by closing his eyes, then it's better for him to close his eyes. If you have more concentration when closing your eyes, it's better for you to close your eyes. Then you will recite Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, that is your thana. Then you will recite Ta'awudh, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Then you will recite Basmiyah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then Surah Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all the way until Walad Dhalin. Then you will start Ameen, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, another surah. Thereafter, when you completed your next surah, then you're going to go into the position of ruku'. Now the position of ruku' is such that your knee or your legs should be straight. Now I'm explaining the ideal position. Sometimes we have a situation someone is in some pain, someone is elderly, it's difficult for them to get to the perfect position. So they should perform to the best of their ability. But if we have the ability to perform the salah in the best way, in the perfect way, then we should try. Now our ruku' that we'll be performing, the legs will be straight, the back will be straight, the arms will be straight, and the head will be in line with the back. Straight legs, straight arms, straight back, head in line with the back. I'm going to demonstrate facing this way. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar. So here, legs should be straight, back should be straight, arms should be straight, head should be plus minus in line with the back. So that will be our ruku'. During our ruku', our gaze is going to be fixated between our feet. So you're going to look down between the feet. Again, if you have more concentration with your eyes closed, you are allowed to close your eyes. There's no problem with that. Alright? So that will be our ruku'. Then Sami'a Allahu liman hamidah, you stand straight up. When you stand straight up, Rabbana lakal hamd, and then you're going to go for sajda. When we are going for sajda, there's a method of going down for sajda. Firstly, when we're going down for sajda, ideally, that means if we can manage, it's better not to bend the back at all. Keep the back straight and go down. Then first place the knees upon the ground, then the two hands, then the nose, then the forehead. So first the knees, then the two hands, then the nose, then the forehead. The forehead should feel the hardness of the ground. The forehead should feel the hardness of the ground. If you are on, let's say, a tiled surface, then you don't have a problem. But if you're on a carpeted surface that's a bit soft, you might have to press a little more so that you feel the hardness of the ground. Alright? So this is important, and that's why when we are building, let's say, a Jamaat Khan or masjid or so, then you take the advice of ulama ikram with regards to carpets as well. That how soft is the carpet? Is it manageable to still, if you press a little, you'll feel the hardness of the ground? Then it's okay. But if it's going to be so soft and so thick that you can't even feel the hardness of the ground, now it's becoming like a sponge or mattress, then you can't perform sajda on that. Alright? So you should be able to feel the hardness of the ground. Now I'll demonstrate inshallah how to go into sajda. I'm going to do so in this direction. Usually you'll be in the direction of Qibla, but just for demonstration I'll do so this way. Alright, firstly we're going to keep the back straight. We're going to say Allahu Akbar, keep the back straight, go down, place the knees, then the hands, then the nose, then the forehead. Alright. Allahu Akbar. So it was first the knees, then the hands, then the nose, then the forehead. Alright? And then the forehead will be pressed firmly against the ground. Now once we have gone into sajda, between the two sajdas we do what we call a jalsa. Jalsa means a sitting between the two sajdas. Oh, that's important as well. How should the toes be in sajda? Jazakallah. How should the toes be in sajda? How should the hands be in sajda as well? The hands should be on the sides of the face. And they should be fairly close to the face, not spread far apart. Okay? Fairly close to the face. I usually give the advice that if you extend your thumbs, you come close to your nose or touch your nose. So that means your hands are fairly close. But don't extend your thumbs this way. All fingers should be facing the Qibla. And the feet in sajda. Ideally, the sunnah method of sajda is such that the feet, the toes of both feet, should all be pressed down against the ground, facing the direction of Qibla. Ideally, all the toes pressed against the ground, facing the direction of Qibla. Now, there's other ahkam, for example, one toe of each foot being pressed against the ground is fard, necessary. 3 toes of each foot being pressed against the ground is wajib. And then the other two is sunnah. So the best method is to try to press all of the toes against the ground. So I'll just show you, I'll face the front face the Qibla, and I'll show you the method, the way the toes are supposed to be pressed. The heels don't have to touch. If someone touches heels, it's fine. If they don't touch their heels against each other, it's fine. They don't have to touch their heels against each other. Just try to ensure that the toes are all pressed against the ground, facing Qibla. So I'll demonstrate that again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar. So all of the toes of both the feet are all pressed against the ground, facing the direction of Qibla. Now we're going to move towards the position of Jalsa. Jalsa is where we sit between the two sajdas. When we're sitting between the two sajdas, the tashahhud position, we're going to sit in such a manner that we sit upon our left foot. We sit upon our left foot. So you turn the left foot to the side, sit upon it, and the right foot should be upright. The right foot should be upright with the toes pressed against the ground again, facing the direction of Qibla. The hands should be on the thighs, close to the knees. You can say the tips of the fingers should just about be touching the knees. then the fingers or the hands should be placed like this, fingers just about at the knees, and all should be towards the direction of Qibla. Throughout Salah, you're not going to press your fingers together, you're not going to spread them apart. You're going to leave them in a natural, comfortable position. Alright? So natural, comfortable position facing the front. The only time you'll spread your fingers a bit is when you are doing ruku', when you have to grasp, hold your knees. That's the point at which you'll spread the fingers a little bit. But the rest of Salah, the fingers are comfortable. From takbir to whilst your hands are on the side, during your sajda, during your jalsa, during your tashahhud, in all these times, your fingers will be in a comfortable position. Alright? And then, of course, you'll go for the second sajda, same method. And then you'll get up from sajda. If you finish your first rakat, you're getting up from sajda. So when you're getting up from sajda, then it's the opposite way as compared to when you were going into sajda. So when you're going into sajda, first the knees touch the ground, then the hands, then the nose, then the forehead. So coming up will be backwards, opposite. First the forehead will leave the ground, then the nose will leave the ground, then the hands will leave the ground, and then the knees will leave the ground. So I'll demonstrate that as well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First the forehead, then the nose, then the hands, then the knees. And then just as we were going down into sajda with the back straight, we'll get up with the back straight. Alright? If there is difficulty for someone, that he can't manage to get up or go down with the back straight, that's understandable. That's alright. Okay? Everybody's situation is a little different, but we learn the ideal method and then we try, as per our situation, to do our best to match that method. Alright? Then when it comes to, I'm going back to Jalsa for one more, or back to Qa'da when you are sitting, to show us how to do the ishara of Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Okay? How we do the ishara, we're going to raise our finger, isn't it? How we do that indication. So, your hand will be flat, and then you'll say Ashhadu an la. When you say la, that's the time that you're going to pick your finger. Pick your finger up. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Then you'll drop your finger at the word illallah. Alright? So, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Whilst you are picking up your finger, you will make a circle using your middle finger and the thumb. So, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Alright? And thereafter, some keep their hand that way, but the recommended method many ulama ikram do advise that you can drop your hand completely. But this is not something that we should argue about. If someone keeps their finger, it's fine. If someone drops their hand, mashallah, no problem. But the main purpose of the hand, of the finger going like this is for the ishara itself, when you are doing the indication of Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and thereafter if you drop it, it's fine. Then we're going to move towards salam. How is it that we do salam? You have people do some strange things in salam, but salam is very straightforward. You just turn the head to the right when you sing Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and then you turn the head to the left when you sing Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's as simple as that. Some people drop their head and go round and go round. There's no need for anything of that sort. Simply turn your head to the side, make salam, turn the head to the side, make salam. No need to drop the head, no need to lift the head up, no need to go around either. Alright? And that brings us to the end of salah. Once we are done with our salah, then it's usually a good time for dua. The father, Sayyidi Ala Zadahmatullah Ali Moulana Khan, when he speaks about the times of dua and acceptance of dua, and many ulama kiram do mention this as well, one of the times of acceptance of dua is after salah. So that's a wonderful time for you to be able to make dua. So I'll just very briefly show you the posture. We're not discussing all of the intricacies, just the basic posture of dua. The basic way and the basic position of the hands in dua is that the qibla of the hands in dua is the sky. So you'll face your hands towards the sky, not this way, up towards the sky. You'll face the hands towards the sky, you'll leave the hands in a comfortable position. It doesn't have to be pressed or spread out or anything. Leave the hands in a comfortable position and hold your hands at approximately the height of your chest. Approximately the height of your chest, hands facing the sky. You can keep a little bit of a gap between your hands. That's fine. There are different methods, meaning besides this one, that's one sunnah posture of dua. Another is to raise the hands to the face. Another is to raise the hands to such a degree that their armpits become exposed. So these are the three postures of dua, the three positions of dua. In front of your chest, to the height of your face, and above to such an extent that the armpits are exposed. And then you can make whichever du'as you want. The recommended dua as well after salah, the one that Rasulullah sallallahu would make is, and it's reported in Ahadith, that Rasulullah would mention, Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. And then you can add on to this, there's no harm if you add sami'na wa ata'na ghufranaka rabbana wa ilayka al-masir. You can add on other du'as, etc. However, there is a recommendation that we don't lengthen our dua too much if we have a sunnah to be performed after that fard. So any fard salah, after which there is sunnah to perform, then the thawab of the sunnah is greater if it's closer to the fard salah. So therefore, don't make a very lengthy dua when you have sunnah to perform after. When you don't have sunnah to perform after, like Salatul Fajr and Salatul Asr, then you can lengthen your dua then. But if you have a sunnah to perform, then it's better to keep your dua mukhtasar short. And thereafter, once you are done with your dua, then you can perform your sunnah and then you can make a more lengthy dua. And when you're done with your dua, then it's good for you to rub your hands over your face. This too is from the sunnah of the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. After dua, to rub the hands over the face. Any questions on whatever we discussed?
What we must read in Jalsa? Any dua? Or how long we must sit in Jalsa?
MashaAllah. How to sit in Jalsa I should know. The same as tashahhud, that you will be sitting with the right leg upright, toes pressed facing the qibla, left leg flat, such that you'll be sitting on that leg. What will you read in Jalsa between two sajdas? So between two sajdas, one is, it's not necessary to read anything, but it's good to read. It's recommended to read Allahumma ghafirli warhamni, or you can add on Allahumma ghafirli warhamni wa'afini wahdini warzuqni. And the meaning of this, Allahumma ghafirli, oh Allah, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Warhamni, and please have mercy on me. Wa'afini, and give me afiyah, give me well-being. Wahdini, and guide me. Warzuqni, and sustain me. So this is a good recommended dua to read in Jalsa. Another dua that you read at the end of Salah, after Durud Ibrahim, you read the dua ma'thura. That means any dua from Quran, Hadith, all containing words that are similar to that which is taught in Quran and Hadith. So there are various people read various du'as. People read Rabbi ja'alni muqim as-salat. Then you can read that. You can read Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi zulman kathira wa la yaghfiru dhunuba illa anta faghfir li maghfiratan min 'indika warhamni innaka antal ghafurur rahim. That's also a good du'a. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina 'adhaban nar. Also good. People read Allahumma ighfir li wa li walidayya wa li ustadi wa li jami'il mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Also good. So any of these du'as, any du'a found in Quran Sharif, any du'a found in Hadith, or any du'a that has words that are similar to that which the Quran Sharif and the Hadith Sharif teach us. So all of these du'as are fine. And once you're done with that, then you make salam to the right and salam to the left. That's it. Any other questions? Ji. Okay, that's also, you see, the toes have to be pressed down when you are in sajda. So if someone went into sajda and didn't press his toes down and his feet were dangling in the air throughout his sajda, then he missed out a fard of sajda. And sajda is a fard of salah. So that means the salah is not valid. So we have to be careful when we go into sajda, ensure that the toes are pressed down to the best of our ability. You have sometimes people have difficulty, performing salah standing and going into sajda, thus they sit on a chair. That's fine as well. That is when there's serious, difficulty. When there's serious difficulty that they can't manage to go into sajda, or they can't manage to get up from sajda due to whatever difficulty they have. Each person knows his own health. So in that case, he will sit on a chair. While sitting on a chair, if you can help me to bring that chair for me, please. While sitting on a chair, sometimes this is also sort of misconception people have. It's not something we fight about or argue about, but just I want to share something with you that while sitting on the chair, we perform salah with what we call ima. Ima is another word. Another word for ima is ishara. It means, indications. The indications that are performed while sitting on a chair are done by means of the head. It's done by means of the head. You can lower your head or you can lower the back a little as well, but not by means of the hands. What is counted is your, indication by means of your head. What does that mean? Going down for ruku', you need to bend your head a little bit. You can bend your back as well, it's fine. But going down for sajda, you need to lower your head more than you had it lowered for ruku'. The head must be lower than it was in ruku', then only it's counted as sajda. If the head didn't go lower than it was in ruku', then it's not counted as the sajda. So you lower for ruku' and you lower further for sajda. There's no movement So I'll demonstrate this as well, facing this direction since no one is here.
So when someone is sitting and then he's going for ruku', so let's say he bends himself this much, right? Then for sajda, when he sits up again, for sajda he must bend a little further. So if he's bent here for ruku', his sajda should be a little bit further. Alright? So he can bend his back if he has the ability. If he doesn't have the ability to bend the back, then he can lower the head a little for ruku' and then lower the head a little bit more for sajda. Then it's counted as ruku' and sajda. The moving of the hands doesn't count anything, doesn't mean anything. Some people have the habit, they do this in ruku' and then they do that in sajda. That doesn't really matter. If someone does that, it doesn't affect his salah. It's fine. But the more important thing than the moving of the hands, he should focus on how low his head is going. So keeping the head in the same position and just doing this is not ruku' and sajda. Ruku' and sajda is not performed by the hands, it's performed by lowering yourself. It's a bowing. Ruku' and sajda is bowing. And bowing takes place not by means of the hands, but by means of the head. So the head should be lowered for ruku' and the head should be lowered further for sajda. If they do this, it doesn't really count, but it doesn't make the salah invalid either.